effective, sometimes it doesn't work.
People don't want to move from what was working.
Well, even if they do want to move, sometimes you're going to be like, you know what? I thought it was a great idea. Like, I do lesson plans like that sometimes where I'm like, oh, you know what? This is awesome. And then I do the lesson and everybody's like, what? What are you talking about? And I'm like, check that one off. So, it's a failure sometimes thing, but if you want to innovate, you've got to be willing to fail at some point. Because if you're trying something new, it might not work.
Yeah. It has to be hard too, because there's all the Common Core or something like that, where they want everything to be similar, and that almost seems to go against kind of the whole. It seems like they think they're kind of the same thing, but in reality, it seems like it's not going to work out that way.
Yeah, it's pulling against each other, right? Yeah. They want for the longest time, standardized testing was the most important. Now they're talking about changing the standardized test to smarter balanced, which I agree with. I think smarter balance makes sense. That's kind of the way I go. But it's a shift from you got to remember this, and you've both been in my classes. Life isn't that way.
No.
Life is, if you understand the concept, then you can go back and figure out the nuts and bolts.
Right.
Yeah. So you can jump on the line and say, oh yeah, it was March 5th.
Yeah, your boss isn't going to say, oh, no, can't look that up.
Right.
Got to have it memorized.
Well, there's a few you got to have memorized, but most of them were, you're right. So anyway, last year, sometime in June, I had you do something. What's the exact date? Just let me jump on June 4th. Oh, that's correct. They don't care that you have it memorized. And understanding the idea is the important part. Right. That's where I hope education is heading towards. Yeah.
And do you think that technology will help move it towards more of a, as Mr. Foster calls it, learning by understanding instead of a memorizing type learning environment, or do you think that'll kind of...
It should. The one-to-one really lends itself to that, but there are sometimes you got to do the basic memorization. Like the multiplication tables. Did you guys have to learn those ever?
Yeah.
Did you? Yeah. They don't do that anymore. So really? Kids coming up are having a more difficult time. 144 is 12 times 12.
Right.
Just the basic stuff that you can use as a building block. So some of it, but when you get to these levels, especially in social studies, it's about understanding the problems and how we got to the problems and how we solved them and maybe ways we could have solved them better. Because that's what life is. It's not memorizing random facts very often.
I mean, some stuff you do have to memorize, like, I don't know, what's a good example?
Kind of like names or like leaders or something of who...
Yeah, there's some stuff you just have to know. Yeah. Like, I mean, even basic stuff like, telling time on a clock, you have to know that, you go around.
Right.
Yeah.
And but most stuff, when you get to higher levels,
right,
you're better off figuring out how to do stuff.
Right. Understand rather than just memorizing that. Yeah, like memorize the whole calculus problem. Instead of just understanding how to do it, it's not gonna...
Like, people don't understand the AP exams, like AP Calc. Did you take AP Calc?
Yeah.
What did you have to memorize for AP Calc?
Some basic formulas, but that's about it.
How about AP US History?
I didn't take English.
AP US History, you should memorize probably, we have 500 terms.
Jeez.
That you're supposed to know. So, that doesn't make any sense.
Right, that's not really learning, it's just you can go through flashcards the fastest.
Right, yeah. Memorizing the most. Yeah. What did you do your
my research project, I kind of went off on a tangent on basically like learning styles and like how different kids learn differently and how they kind of relate to things in the classroom. Because I found that, I'll ask somebody a question in class and, because I didn't understand it and they'll look at me funky like, well, how did you not get that? And it's like, well,
What's your learning style?
I think I'm like kinesthetic with a little bit of mix. Yeah, some things are like visual and auditory, but like most of it is kinesthetic. But my whole project is basically like if we can kind of nail those things down and help kids out with that, like when they first start out, like in first grade or something, kind of helping with like study skills or something like that. I think it would have helped me a lot, and it would probably make a job for the teachers a lot easier because in that way they know how to put their teaching out there the right way.
And it's good to have different teaching styles with the learning styles, but to understand the major learning style of the class, that's important.
Yeah.
And I was always bodily kinesthetic myself, and that's why in my class we do a lot of hands-on sort of
get up and do stuff.
Right, throw the paper airplane and shoot the rubber band. So you know, hopefully you'll remember bombing was not very easy to do in World War II.
Yeah.
Even though maybe not, but at least you put that together with something else.
Yeah.
So, that's cool. Did you find it rewarding?
Yeah, it was really interesting. I learned about just about the fact of how everybody is different, and you can actually tell that by how the way the person either acts or reacts with others, or just different ways that when they learn something, or when like a teacher is teaching something, how do they react? Like for me, with a kinesthetic learner, if like a teacher gives us a paper, I notice this also. I tend not to actually read it as much. I just skim through it, and I try to think things through my head of like visually what it would be like for me to do what I need to do.
Right.
And that's part of the reason why with English I have a little bit tougher time, because it's like I can't really visualize myself typing on the computer. I don't know.
Yeah. One thing that helped me is, do you read a lot?
A little bit, yeah.
So no.
No,
that's okay. No,
I do a little. I used to, but I haven't done it a lot.
I was a voracious reader at your age.
Yeah.
So seeing the story in your head makes it bodily kinesthetic.
Yeah.
So you're not actually typing words, you're typing what's going on in your brain. You know? So it's if you try to attack it that way, that can be helpful.
Yeah.
How much time we got in? 1 more minute.
Yeah, 1 more minute.
All right. What was the other research project on?
We don't know Chris's, but
yeah. I think this is just over the project. So basically, created the videos and
what some things you guys would have done differently.
Definitely, like you said, more time.
More time would have been.
For one thing, produced more videos, and we could have put more time in the videos than we did think.
Right.
And we just created more time to do planning and stuff like that. Yes, mostly I think.
Let's see if we can reshoot Ortiz. Because if it's just him, that's all we got to do.
Yeah.
And then if we have the lyrics and the music going on, hopefully and if we shoot it straight through, and we'll shoot it straight through 3 times, 2 times from 4 different angles, 2 stationary, 2 moving, and then if it goes straight through, you can hear the soundtrack on the tape and match it up with the video.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that video would be, I think that would be something you could be really proud of, the production value and how many camera angles did we use?
2. We used 2 on that one.
Okay.
Well, I think we used 3 because then we ended up moving your camera.
Well, we had the one that was.
Oh no, we did 3. Let's go zoom view from up at the top of the balcony.
Okay.
A zoom, see how tight that zoom gets.
Okay.
So we've got a downward look at him as well.
Yeah. All right.
And I think that would make it movie end.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Very good. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.